Hey friends, I just want to let you know that I came back just now. I arrived from a weekend conference with through the Crescent Project, and it's entitled Without Borders, and it is specifically for women to train to reach out to the Muslim female community. And this was probably one of the greatest conferences I've ever been to. First and foremost, because it is biblically based, and the people that put this conference on truly have a heart and a love for Christ and for others, and made some great friends. But what I want to share with you tonight, this seems to happen with me a lot, is something that's embarrassing. As many of you know, I've done some work in the past, and have done a lot of research and some other things that I won't go into detail here, that really began to create an anger, and an unrighteous anger, and almost a hate for Muslims. And I'm embarrassed to even say that, and that's hard for me to admit that's very hard for me to admit that. But over the course of the last several years, God really began tugging at my heart and telling me, showing me really that that they're His children as well. And who am I to judge them and to turn my back on them? In fact, His word tells us in Matthew 28:19 that we are to go into all nations and make disciples of all people. And I firmly believe that because the church is failing to do that, maybe you've heard of the 1040 window across the Middle East, where there are so many that are missing the gospel message. And, I firmly believe that because we are not going out and delivering the message to them, He has brought them here. We're seeing an influx of refugees coming into our nation. And I get it. I understand. There's a lot of people that are really angry about that, and they don't want these refugees come into the United States. What I would say to that is this is an opportunity. This is a divine opportunity, in fact, for us to do what we have been called and commanded to do, and that is to go and make disciples of all nations. So we need to utilize that opportunity. The other thing, in Ezekiel, we're told that we're supposed to sound the alarm. And for a while, I felt that I was called to sound the alarm and to tell everyone the dangers and the evil of Islam. And while that may be true, I feel like maybe, I was going at it in the wrong way, because I was really skipping a people. I was skipping an entire population with this anger and hatred that was building up in my heart for the Muslim community. In Ezekiel, he's not talking to just believers. In fact, the very message that he's telling us in Ezekiel, calling us out to be the watchmen and to sound the alarm, is in fact for the unbeliever. And in fact, we're told that their blood will be on our hands if we don't sound the alarm, if we don't let people know, if we don't let the lost know that eternity is final. Eternity is forever, and that we need to share that gospel message with the lost, and the Muslim community, they need to hear that gospel message. And so I want to encourage you to check out Crescent Project's Without Borders. It's an amazing conference. I know there's one coming up in Atlanta. I'm going to actually host a training here in my home, and would like to invite you to be a part of that. So anyhow, that's my message for tonight. It's hard for me to bring this message to you. It's humbling, to say the least.